Just a quick introduction to the main markets. In the last trading session, Nvidia came up slightly, Google came up slightly. Financials were obliterated. Consumer defensive got whacked and Tesla came down. It was pretty much red across the board. The crypto market did a bit of a technical bounce in the past 24 hours. We're going to look more deeply into this. The crypto fear and greed index was starting to come up, but then thought, no, I think I'll go down again. There's a tremendous amount of fear inside the market primarily because of tariffs, making everything more expensive. In this video, we'll check out how the markets are faring, and of course, we'll look into the crypto market. Crypto is an incredibly good way to measure risk on or risk off activity. Let's run the numbers. Welcome back, CTKS students and Elite Service members. Before we get into the markets, a quick update. All of these green squares are releases inside the CTKS Method service, so if you're a member there, please know that these have been updated. Now, I typically don't discuss what's been updated, but TradingView is preventing updates to the indicator names. The key to remember, just use this particular chart as the understanding of what's been released on a daily basis. The current month's back color is green. Last month it was blue. Now what does this mean about the indicator name not being updated? You can see Ethereum Classic and DXY have all been released for March, but good old TradingView says no, you can't update that name anymore. Thank you, TradingView. With the crypto strategic reserve, anything made in the US in terms of crypto is fantastic. It can make its way into that crypto reserve, and that includes Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, ADA, Solana, Doge, and XRP. Of course, Bitcoin and Ethereum also have a price place, but they're not made in the USA. The Trump tariffs have now been introduced, and we saw a little bit of a recovery in the crypto space, followed by a reversal, followed by a long tail rejection, and somewhat of a rally. This is tending to suggest that crypto has already priced in the volatility of the introduction of the tariffs. It is going to get choppy, so strap yourselves in. The key to the cheat sheet is to look structurally, and when we look structurally at crypto, we do so through Bitcoin and total crypto market cap. They're the two things that we need to look at most. And we've seen that Bitcoin has taken off, but where is the structure? One of the things that people will do, they'll throw on moving averages and they'll say, this moving average tells me where the resistance and where the support levels are. Not always the case. Sometimes you'll find that moving averages do some pretty damn weird things. They may be all support or all resistance, and that is just not helpful if you're seeking to buy on red and sell on green. Now, what is happening under Bitcoin's price structure is this. Around that 87,858 is a lot of overhead structural resistance. We came up through it, got stopped out by it. If we start to get above 87,858, that puts the 89,610 into play. If we can't get above 87,858, the structural support levels are at 86,768. If we lose those, we've got plenty down at the 85,728 level. Knowing where the structure is vitally important. The more structure is associated around a specific level, the stronger it is. And always keep your eye on what retail are thinking and doing as well. It's not a bad idea to just keep your eyes on the moving averages. But now the key is pretty straightforward. If we don't get above 87,858 converted into structural support, we cannot create a bullish case. But if we do so, we can. And if we don't get above there, a bearish case down to 85,728 is expected. Keep your eyes on the structure. We need to look at total crypto market cap in conjunction with Bitcoin, and we can see there are structural support levels all the way through where total crypto market cap is currently at 2.83 trillion. This is supportive of Bitcoin just actually breaking out from that level. One thing you'll typically find is when we get structural support, it tends to bounce but tends then to decay. If structural support is found across the entire crypto market, Bitcoin will get above that 87,858 to go higher. If total crypto market cap violates that lower level, we're on our way to 85,728. Keep this idea in mind. Price is always moving in a wave. It's always up and down. Anybody who says it's only up has never looked at a chart. And actually the same goes the other way. Anybody who says only down has never looked at a chart as well. Just embrace the reality of the market. Financial literacy, chart literacy is really, really important. You worked hard to get your money, work even harder to keep it, and also to grow it. Looking into the crypto market, looking at upper bank and lower bank plays, right now we see that Bitcoin Cash, Binance Coin, and Bitcoin are upper bank plays, but they're all pretty much being suppressed at the current time. And the lower bank plays are WIF, Bonk, Pepe, Floki, and Litecoin, not to mention a little bit of Solana. I'd just like to thank Mellow Cryptic for his very kind comment. The profiting from CTKS Method Structure course is a game changer. Reassessment of the market in real time while trading with optimal chart layouts is a game changer. It is incredibly powerful, and welcome back, my friend. JT also had a fantastic comment from yesterday's video. JT says, I subscribe to what Jim Rohn says, to work harder on myself than I do on my job. That is some sage advice. Staying away from retail trade perfection is the key to success inside financial markets. And keeping on the ball with the cheat sheet is absolutely vital. Thank you to everybody who commented and watched yesterday. Terrific. And TF Theta said, retracements also happen in a downtrend market, which are to the positive followed by a realignment with trend. So price is literally always just moving in a wave. If you get a retracement, you're going to get a kick up because price will find structural support at some stage and rebound up until structural resistance. That's like the realignment of the trend that TF Theta is talking about. Such a valuable lesson to realize that the market moves in this direction and the importance of the cheat sheet and the trends of the markets. Always keep in mind what the futures are doing. Are they going up? Are they waving down? What are they doing? Are they strengthening or are they weakening? Thank you, my friends, and thank you to everybody else. Let's have a quick run through on the liquidation heat map. We can see at around the 89,500 mark, there's a lot of potential closeout positions there. And then when we look downwards, not too much on the 12-hour. So let's have a look on the 24-hour, around that 89,500 mark. Now, what does this actually mean? It means that the market makers are drawn to liquidity both to the downside and to the upside, buy side and sell side liquidity. One of the things that the market makers will seek to do is to fill their orders. They can only do so at quite substantial liquidity levels. Now, the thing to understand, just because the liquidity level is there does not mean it will get hit. A lot of people say, oh, the liquidity level is there, it will get hit. I've seen so many times that things go the absolute opposite direction. I'll give you an example just here. So you can see there was a strong liquidity level around that 95,000 and it went downwards. And what does this mean? It means that you need to be aware of where liquidity is, but don't be swayed by it. Just keep your eye on the structure. It's kind of a lot like just looking at moving averages and things like that. Just stack the probabilities all together. Also, you'll see a lot of people just demonstrating one particular liquidity chart or liquidation heat map at a time, and it just typically serves their purpose. We have no other purpose than to be aware of where the liquidity is inside the market. And we can see there's a fair amount of liquidity playing between around that 95,000 up to the 100,000 level on the 2-week chart. Let's just zoom out a little bit more on the 1 month, about 100, but going down to around 72,000. So these are just ways that you just keep in mind what the market could be doing. There's a lot of liquidity up there and also down to around the $70,000 mark. What about the 6 month? Let's just have a quick look through that. Not much above, but a bucket load below. Now, what does this mean? Well, it doesn't mean much really. A lot of people will put a lot of faith into liquidation heat maps, and they're good under certain circumstances, but look at structure. For example, if Bitcoin cannot get above that 87,858, it's going down to 86,768. If it can't hold this and structurally overshoots, we would expect the 85,728 level. Knowing the structure is like being a neuroscience surgeon or a neurosurgeon. It just literally gives you that pinpoint precision on where things could be going to next, based on what actually occurs. Not fantasy, not news, price reality. And one thing to just keep in mind, if the background of your indicator is not green, it's from last month. It's vitally important to know where structure is. For example, if we look at XRP across this 242 mark, there was a lot of structure. And what happened when price came down and down and down? More and more safety nets were required to reflect price back up, but they all got stopped out at the 242 level. As soon as you get stopped out at a level, it creates negative structural attraction to the levels below. This is something that you must keep your eye on. If you get structural failures, it opens up lower structural support levels. That's why especially you want to see a lot of structure being under and capable of supporting price. Now, when we look at this, XRP is not looking too bad at the current time. It's done a degree of consolidation, but we know XRP is dependent on Bitcoin and total crypto market cap, and Bitcoin and total are dependent on the major market indices. The major market indices are dependent on row 1 and row 2 charts. You want to be able to look through the charts. Also, one thing to keep in mind, when you've got a lot of overhead structure, it becomes problematic. And we're seeing inside Solana's chart at that 146.83, we've got a bit of a problem here. Things need to turn around. We've also got a negative CTKS gap. And we've got a degree of failure just creeping into Solana's chart. That would create negative structural attraction down to the 138.17 mark and the 139.43. If we structurally overshoot, we can come back up like this. Just be aware of structural overshoots. I talk about it a lot in the Profiting course. I would suggest you revisit those lessons. One thing that we know is the DXY has been updated, but you can see this blue background. It's not green. Now, what we can do is just go up to the indicator, right click, and we would be looking to update the indicator. If this doesn't show up because TradingView is a nutcase at the current time, the solution, therefore, is to remove the indicator, go to Indicators, Invite Only Scripts, and in the DXY, just click the indicator. Now we've added it in and it's green. A component of financial literacy is keeping a really positive attitude, and this is important because we must be dedicated and committed, be focused on winning or learning and never blaming. The markets just act as a pooling device, so therefore, as we buy on red, we can sell on green. We don't subscribe to retail trade perfection, because that wrecks accounts. I've given a link to the Positive Excellence channel and the video we've just put out recently, which is all about how to overcome procrastination. It's a really good video. Please check it out, and would love you to subscribe as well. Keeping positive is an incredibly important thing to do, And when we solve our problems with positive excellence, everything gets better. Always know that the universe wants you to succeed, so every day you can show kindness, integrity, and gratitude. Just knowing that opportunities and life reset daily. There's no need to be in a rush, just start small and scale, just like everything in life. And always remember, if you're going through a life pullback, that's giving you strength for the next life rally. Have a great day or night ahead, my friends, and Kate and I look forward to catching up with you again in the next video. Bye for now.